Hi Church, Pastor Jeff here with another Trinity check-in. This weekend is Faith at the Movies here at Trinity, one of our annual traditions and a good one. And for today's topic, I want to talk about not so much the event itself as what we can learn from the fact of it, because at the core is something that I believe in very strongly. First, the details. This weekend, on Friday evening, we're going to watch a Minecraft movie out here on the hill, on the Labyrinth. If you can't tell, that's the Labyrinth behind me. I'm in Memorial Garden here. If you haven't seen a Minecraft movie, it's good. I was surprised by just how good the first third of it was, especially. And the kids have loved it this summer. I know at the time he was still a middle schooler when the movie came out, was all into it, as were all his friends. If you don't know the movie, maybe you know about Minecraft in general. It's a computer game, a video game, but one that is about creativity and about building and about creating along with others too. So there's a good core into it, right? It's not like some of the more violent games that are out there. And even if you don't know the game, maybe you know about Legos. I think we all know about Legos and that kind of creativity to build anything that inspires you. It's part of so many of our childhoods. I know it was mine, and that's what's going to inspire this Sunday's sermon. So Friday evening, we'll watch the movie. If you've never been, we set up a screen out here on the hill and some chairs by 8 o'clock. The sun's going down. There'll be cotton candy, I think, among other things, and you can enjoy the movie itself. Then on Sunday, we'll watch a couple of clips from the movie during the sermon, and I'll bring a lesson from it too. But here's what I wanted to say today in today's video that's at the core of the Faith at the Movies tradition. So sometimes you see a division between things that are sacred versus things that are secular. You know, things that are of the church and in the church world and things that are of the rest of the world, implying that one is better than the other. Well, maybe it implies that. Personally, I think that division is totally bogus. You know, I'm a firm believer that you can find God everywhere. Now, yes, it is good to spend some of our time taking in art or music or whatever it may happen to be that was specifically written for God and for the church. Of course that's good. But to imply that God isn't everywhere else, that's a problem. I think a better way to live is just to go about it with the assumption that God is everywhere, to walk into every room expecting to find God and almost with a sense of curiosity, like, well, I wonder where I'll find God in this. I wonder where I'll see God moving in this thing that I'm about to do. It's a much better way to approach the world. And that's what this comes down to. You know, I made a little bit of a change with the movie selection for this year's Faith at the Movies sermon, because in the past I've always looked for movies that kind of had a spiritual underlying or a spiritual message deep down. One of the movies a couple years ago was Raya and the Last Dragon. Do I have that name right? It's a good movie. And it was basically, though, it's a Christ story. It's basically the story of Christ set in a different way. And that's good. It's very good. Don't get me wrong. But this year, I chose a movie that had nothing to do with God. I intentionally chose a movie that was popular because it was connecting with people. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to watch this and see if I can find God in it. And I'll be darned if it isn't one of the better Faith at the Movie sermons I've put together. At least I hope it is when it comes out on Sunday. But what it really does is speak to that underlying truth that God is everywhere in all things. And sometimes when we have eyes to see it, when we have eyes to look deep, we can find God in everything. And so that's what I want to encourage you to do today. Whether you're at work, if you're driving home in the traffic, if you watch TV tonight, and in fact, maybe that's the best place to do it. Whatever you watch on TV tonight, do it with an openness to what you might see and to what you might notice. You might find love. You might find God's love in a place you don't expect. All right. I hope you're doing well, church, and enjoying the little bit cooler weather, if not all of the rain. I look forward to seeing you this weekend for watching Minecraft movie out here on the Labyrinth and for talking about it Sunday in worship. Hey, you ought to come over to Memorial Garden. The flowers are especially pretty right now, and enjoy those too. I'll see you soon, church.